Yo, hey guys, what is up? It's JJ Tech here, back again for another YouTube video, and today I've got you the T-Mobile Revvl Plus. Now, as you know, I did a good amount of videos on this phone. If you guys have been following my channel for a while, you guys know that I did a good 3 or 4 videos on this phone explaining, comparisons and reviews with my other phones. So today, what I'm going to be doing is basically telling you, should you still pick this phone up in late 2019? With no further ado, let's get into the video. Now, before I actually get into the video, I just want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas. This video is going to be posted after Christmas, and I am recording this after Christmas, but I hope you guys had a good Christmas. I know I didn't upload a video this week just because it was the week of Christmas, and I know a lot of you, were going to be busy, and I myself was very busy as well. So that's why I did not upload a video this week. And I know I gotta keep being consistent, but I just thought that this week I would take a break just because it was Christmas week. But yeah, hopefully you guys had a good Christmas. So yeah, now let's get into the brand new video. Alrighty, so as you know, I did a good amount of videos on this T-Mobile Revvl Plus, and keep in mind, this is the first generation, not the second. A lot of people get that confused and think that this is the T-Mobile Revvl 2 or Revvl Plus 2. But yeah, this is the first version of it. Before this, there really was no other T-Mobile Revvl Plus. And if you guys are, know about this phone, you guys know that this is a T-Mobile exclusive phone. But as you know, this phone, the T-Mobile Revvl Plus, the original, isn't sold at T-Mobile anymore. So I'm not sure if you guys have noticed, but I've changed up the setup for today's video. Kind of thought I'd change up from the original scenery that I usually keep my videos in, and I'm standing up today, and change up the environment and the background that I shoot my videos in, so hopefully you guys enjoy that. So let's get the boring specs out of the way. I know I've said the specs on this phone a bunch of times, especially if you guys have followed the channel for a while, but this thing has a Snapdragon 625 processor with 2 GB of RAM, either 2 or 3 GB. I'll put that up on screen here to confirm that this thing has 3 GB. But yeah, pretty decent mid-range budget specs, and it makes sense since this phone is a budget mid-range phone. Wasn't really expecting much, but the Snapdragon 625 really isn't a bad processor, especially for a phone that was $300, and it still holds up pretty well today. And like I said, my experience with this phone, I've owned this phone for about a little more than a year at this point. Now, it hasn't been my daily driver for a year. As you know, I have an iPhone XR, and as you know, that's my daily driver. And just in case you guys were wondering, it's been a year since I owned my iPhone XR as my daily driver. And if you guys have been following the channel for a while, you guys know that I bought this phone last year in June, so it has been a little bit over a year, but I've only had this phone as my daily driver for about 6 months. So not the full year, like I said, only had it for about 6 months as my daily driver, but I can basically tell you guys my experience with the phone. So it's been a very good experience. Now, as for the cameras in the back, we do have a 12 plus a 5 megapixel shooter. So yes, it is a dual lens shooter for the T-Mobile Revvl Plus. And it also has a fingerprint scanner here. And for the display, we have a 5.5-inch Full HD 1080p display. Now, it does have these huge ugly black bezels at the top and bottom, but keep in mind this phone came out in late 2017, where phones didn't really have that all-screen display like we know now. So yeah, this phone was pretty good for design at the time, but obviously nowadays it's starting to look a little bit dated. But overall, this phone has been a really good phone. Should I advise you to pick this phone up in 2019? Probably not, and here's why. Now, the reason I say not to pick up this phone in 2019, just because there's a T-Mobile Revvl Plus 2, which I'll show up on screen here, and it's just 10 times better than this phone. I believe that has a Snapdragon 720 processor, I'm not quite sure. Definitely double check on that. Sure, it's not the best processor still, but it is a definitely huge upgrade. And I also believe that T-Mobile Revvl Plus 2 also has 4 GB of RAM. So 4 GB of RAM still isn't great, but for a mid-range budget phone, it's pretty decent. And as you also know, there's also a T-Mobile Revvl, and if you guys don't know what that is, it became after the T-Mobile Revvl Plus 2. Yeah, it's kind of confusing. Like I said, but those phones are much newer than this phone, as you know. And the reason I told you not to pick it up, just because, like I said, this phone, you can find this phone easily on Amazon or eBay for about $100, maybe even less than that. And you know, it's just not really worth it, just because the T-Mobile Revvl Plus 2 is also going for about $150 nowadays. So yeah, there really is no point in buying this phone anymore. But overall, it's been a great phone. One flaw and drawback that I do not like about this phone is the speaker in the back. So it is a back-facing speaker, and as you know, back-facing speakers aren't that good just because they don't really have a lot of bass, just because since it's in the back of the phone, there really is no room to put any bass boosters, I guess you could call them, unlike other phones nowadays, which put it at the bottom of the phone, which means there's lots of room to enhance the audio. Like I said, now the only way that this thing will actually kind of sound decent is if you put it flat on a table and you're listening to music. But if it's bass heavy music, yeah, the speaker's not going to be that good. But if you're still planning to buy this phone in 2019 for some reason, it's still a pretty decent phone. Like I said, dual cameras, fingerprint sensor, 1080p full HD display, headphone jack in 2019. You know, all those features for less than $200, you really can't beat that. Next, another drawback with this phone is the lack of software updates. Like I said, I've had this phone for a little bit over a year now, and I gotta say, the lack of software updates really does show. Now this phone right now is stuck. Still is stuck on Android 7.1.1, which means it's Android Nougat, as you can see here, and that is not very good. Like I said, even though this phone did have the newest software when it came out in 2017, Nougat obviously was the newest version for this phone. We're on Android 10 nowadays, and that is way behind the times. And if you're a person that really cares about software updates, yeah, this is not going to be the phone to get. And obviously over time, if you don't get any software updates, a lot of apps will stop supporting this phone. For example, you go on the Play Store and you want to watch Netflix. Well, guess what? There is no Netflix on this phone anymore. As you can see, I've searched up Netflix on the search bar and nothing appears for Netflix for this phone. Basically, Netflix has stopped supporting phones that have Android 7 and below. So yeah, pretty kind of sucks. Like I said, it's probably one of the only apps I found that, you know, doesn't have Netflix support. But other than that, you know, Disney Plus is a new app, so at least you can download that. But basically what I'm trying to say is software updates are really going to be important. Like I said, Netflix isn't even available on this phone anymore. But yeah, overall, this is a really, really good phone. If you're looking to buy it in 2019, go right ahead. But if you've come from another budget phone and you're looking to upgrade from that budget phone, probably not worth getting this phone. But overall, a really good phone. Haven't had really any issues over time that I've had this phone. So yeah, definitely recommend this phone for people that, you know, are really on a tight budget. And you know, this is a big phone as well. So if you like big phones, this could be a really good pro for you. So yeah guys, that pretty much wraps up today's video. Don't forget to subscribe down below, and definitely I'll drop this phone in the link down below, and so you guys can purchase it if you guys are interested. I'll leave an Amazon link. Maybe if I find an eBay link, I will drop that in the link. I will drop that in the description down below so you can purchase it or buy it if you're interested. But yeah, definitely follow me on Instagram as well. Like I said guys, we're almost at 300 subscribers guys. I really, really, really do appreciate you guys' support that I've had for my channel. And guys, 2020 is going to be a really, really good year for the channel. My goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers. So if you guys could please share this video to your friends, your family, whatever. Share this video, and yeah, so we can get this channel to 1,000 subscribers. But yeah guys, thank you guys for watching. Peace out.